Main Street village on the banks of the St. John River. There are only about 140 people living there, and it is the last place you'd expect to have an international reputation. But it has. A plant there has been making some of the world's best cymbals for the last 20 years. Cymbals used by rock bands and orchestras all over the world. It's Your Town, New Brunswick this week, and Willa Jeffrey paid a visit.
The village of Meductic hasn't always looked like this. 200 years ago, Maliseet Indians lived here. They hunted and fished and traded furs with white settlers. Today, Meductic seems quiet and sleepy, but at the end of the main street lies one of the world's best-kept secrets. Sabian Cymbals, Canada's biggest and most famous instrument maker. Rock star Phil Collins uses them. So does the New York Philharmonic Orchestra. Musicians who've probably never even heard of Meductic, but who've been buying Sabian cymbals for years. This may look like modern technology, but cymbal making is really an ancient art. In 1623, an alchemist in Constantinople discovered that he could turn copper, tin, and silver into a musical instrument. That secret method has been passed down from generation to generation, so closely guarded that nobody outside the family is allowed into the melting room to see how it's done. The company is owned by Robert Zildjian, a direct descendant of that original Turkish alchemist. He was away on business the day we toured the plant, but his cousin, Gabe Zilkan, explained why Meductic was chosen as the best place to build an international business.
Well, it's a typical New Brunswick small town. They're very honest, friendly, and when you give them a work, they try to do their best. And they don't try to cheat on their time or something. They're very dependable people, like the workers.
The people from Meductic were trained, given jobs with good salaries. The unemployment rate in the area dropped, and pretty soon, Meductic became as prosperous as it was in the fur trading days.
People around the area, you know, they get a little piece of the cake, and it's good for the economy of the area.
So the company's good for the people here, but the people are good for the company. They're a close-knit workforce. Keith Nason lives a mile down the road. Blair Davidson walks to work. And Nord Hargrove can smell what his wife's cooking for dinner at home right across the street from the plant. Everyone here is either a friend or a relative of the man working next to him.
Once a year we have a family picnic where everybody's relation comes, and we keep the cymbal community together.
Hargrove was a drummer in his high school band. When he graduated, his father put him on a bus and told him not to come home again till he'd found a job. He ended up at Sabian, and he's worked his way up the company ladder from floor sweeper to plant manager.
It doesn't matter what part of the establishment you are here, we're all workers, and we're all striving for the same goal, and if we don't get it, it's going to reflect on all of us, so we all work together.
Without people, Sabian wouldn't be producing the cymbals that have made the company famous. It takes special skill to hammer the rough instrument by hand, the same technique the original Turkish cymbal maker would have used 300 years ago. It takes a strong and steady hand to turn the cymbal on the lathe. The wrong pressure could undo the work of a dozen men. Each cymbal has its own unique voice, one that could be heard by millions on hit records, in concert halls and theaters. The voice that started as a blob of metal on the floor of Sabian's only plant in a little village on the St. John River. Willa Jeffrey, CBC News, Meductic.